Hey guys, today I wanted to share with you one of Jesse Jarosz's first ever folding knives. This is his Model 100, and this was one of the first 4 that he ever produced. These were made for the 3rd annual gathering of the Usual Suspects Network, and that was in 2011. And we can see here that the shape and the design cues are very reminiscent. They're similar to the current iterations of the Model 100 and Model 75. However, the materials and the fit is definitely different on the current models. Now, like many other knife makers, Jesse started making fixed blades, and we can see is that on this Scout there is a lot of similarity to that of the Model 100. So the Model 100 is more or less a folding Scout knife. So we can see is that there's these curves here for your fingers are very similar on the Scout and the 100. So you have like a 2+2 configuration, and then the butt of the knives are also very similar. How they have this turn down feature here, and the curvature of the spine is also quite similar on both knives. Looking at the blade shape is also very similar. So the spine is a little bit different. The Model 100, this particular one has kind of a harpoon swedge. But the blade itself, the edge of the knife, it follows a very similar path, as you can see there. So like I said, the Scout is kind of the fixed version of the 100, or should I say the 100 is a folding version of the Scout knife. So we look at this, it has many different features that have since been changed by Jesse for more favorable features. First, as we saw on the Scout, the Jarosz box logo there was just his name in box letters. Then there's the pivot, which is a unique pivot system that it's similar in the Strider bull pivot, where you can see the spanner-like element there, but then has a hex element here, which is not something I've seen before. And then the scales are just flat titanium on both sides, of course a titanium frame lock. And then it has these interesting body screws, which I certainly don't know the name of, and they're rather unique, but have since been changed in future iterations of the 175. Of course, if you have a keen eye, you would have observed the fold-over deep carry pocket clip, which has again been changed out several times now. Thumb stud, which is one side only, but appears that you could swap it if you had the desire to, with a screw there. And an orange G10 backspacer, which is interesting. It's an interesting design feature to have all the silver and then orange, and then you can see it's quite a flow-through design with just that backspacer. Strong jimping grooves here, and so that's probably about all of the features that are different. What's interesting is that if you look at the overall, if you look at the blade length of this, I think it's right about 3.75 or 3.8 inches. So recently, within the last month or so, Jesse redesigned the 100. So it's now currently in Gen 2, and the blade length has increased to 4.2 inches. So while this is not a small knife by any means, the current Model 100s are going to be much larger and a much more robust cutting tool. So this is the first folding knife that Jesse made, and then shortly after that came the Model 75. So I think he got a lot of feedback on the 100, and people just were really craving a smaller, more pocket-friendly version. So he went with the 75, which is, as you imagine, just a scaled-down version of the 100. Similar design cues, and this is actually the same knife that won him the best new knife maker at G4 1 year later, after these were designed, or after those were made. And so this is my Gen 1 75. You can see the pocket clip changed, pivot changed, ambidextrous thumb studs, Now we have contoured handles, and then a Gen 2 performance line 75, which were introduced earlier this year, earlier in 2013. Again with hand contoured scales and the like. And so it's interesting to see the progression really of these custom Jaros's, with the fixed blade to the 100 and to finally the 75, which has really gotten him I don't want to say famous, but I guess so. I mean, people are really drawn to his knives because of the 75 and because it's become such a well-known and well-respected knife. But it really all started with the Model 100, and so I just wanted to bring that to you as a little piece of trivia, a little piece of history, and I guess it's about it. Please leave comments if you have anything you wanted to share or questions. As always, a thumb up is appreciated. But that's about it. All right, take care, guys, and as always, be dressed to play and geared to slaughter. See ya.